Hi, welcome to my new YouTube channel. So I didn't really have any good ideas for the first video, so I just decided to tell a story. And I had this really good story about this time that I broke into a mental hospital on oxycodone. And I guess it's kind of fucked up, but it's an interesting experience. So I guess let's just, jump into the story. So, you know, I acquired these Perk 30s or Oxy or whatever you want to fucking call it. It's the same active ingredient, I'm pretty sure, but I think Percocet, like the brand name, it has Tylenol in it. But anyway, you know, I was hanging out with my friend and we decided to go get some bottles. So later on, like I bought two bottles. I think he got two also. So we were at my house and um like we just have all these perks and we decided like we might as well try them. So I throw on one and then I take out another one and we both decide to only do like a quarter of one each to make sure we don't die. And this was my first time doing opiates, so I just decided to take out a knife and um like I just put it on the line and I cut it in half and then it flew out. It went under my PC, but I found it like pretty quickly because I saw it like fly out. So then I could take a dollar bill and I put it over the knife, like when I cut it into quarters, so like the piece doesn't fly out everywhere. And then like we each take the quarter and like I was pretty smacked off these. So like my friend goes home later in the day and then I decide to go out and hang out with some other friends. And like this first group isn't really important because they leave pretty quickly in the story. So I'm just chilling. I have my backpack. We're hanging out, smoking, and I'm waiting on this girl Grace to come. And she finally does. She brings her friend, and like we were hanging out at the gazebo in the middle of my neighborhood. But like right across the street, there's a park with like a bigger, like school, like rectangle gazebo. So we all we all go over to the park and we're just chilling out at the gazebo. And the first few people leave and it's just me, Grace, and her other friend. And I'm not sure who texted him, but one of their friends came out and he had a car. So he pulls up and then I was like packing a joint when he rolled up. So, you know, we all smoke a joint and then we go into the car and he has like half a bottle of Malibu. And oh, I forgot to mention this earlier, but in my backpack I had vodka that we were all drinking at the gazebo. So, like, I offer him hits off my dab pen for, a couple shots, and I'm just like, drinking like this Malibu straight out of the bottle, and you know, like after a while, like me and the two girls are drunk, and this I'm just chilling with this dude up front, and I was like, "What's the move?" And he brings up Central State, which is this place in like the middle of Indianapolis, which is about like 25 minutes from me. And you kind of got to go on the highway. I think you got to go south, so you might have to go on the inter. We might have went on the interstate too. So like I barely remember the story because I was kind of fucked up. And before I left, I took half a perk. But when we were in the car, I decided, well, fuck it. If we're going to Central State, I'm gonna take another half because it was like an hour and a half, and it was like I don't know. I was already starting to come down, so you know I take my half, and so I'm on a full 30 at this point, and we start driving. I'm rolling up these two raw cones, and like on the way there, we're on the highway. We're like bumping music, and the driver's like, you think we should light one of these on the way? And I'm like, sure, because I know it's like a long drive, because it's in the middle of like the city. So we're smoking on the way, and then we eventually get there, and we have to park on like some sort of like a side street, like next to people's houses. So like we were next to like three cars, like in the grass in front of a fence, like because it was like some neighborhood close by. And then we walk down the street for a bit, like they were like, I don't know, it was kind of like suspicious, because like we all had to dodge headlights. We just like ran into the bushes, because like the woods was right next to the road, so we just like ran into the leaves and shit to avoid cars coming by from our direction, because we were walking on the left side of the road. And then eventually we get to this like field, like going a little bit through the woods, and like we walk for a bit, like I'm not sure, like maybe like it was like a 5 minute walk, which isn't that far, but like it was kind of weird walking through the middle of a field at night to an abandoned place. So we get there and we're walking around the building, because like we hear people, and like they've obviously been there before, like the people I was with. And we walk around, and the basements have like windows near the top, like the top of the basement, so it sees out like from the grass. And we see like flashlights and shit coming from the basement, and there's people like obviously trying to fuck with us. So like we walk up, and like I'm not sure if there was even stairs or not. There's like this metal ramp that you would see for like a trailer or some shit, just going like up to the porch, I guess, because it was the main entrance. So you know they might have stole the stairs. You can't have shit in Indianapolis. And we walk in, we go down to the basement, and like when you walk down the stairs, it's this like little room, and then there's like a doorway that leads to a second bigger room, and the bigger room was just like full of trash and shit. So we're just walking around the second room, like just calling out, and it was quiet again. So we all walked back outside, upstairs, and then we see like a group of like 10 college age people leave, and then like they asked us how old we were, and I said 17, and they didn't like believe us or some shit. Like they might have thought we were cops. So they all leave, and after they were gone, like I light a joint, and then we're walking around the building looking for the another entrance we can walk in. And like I don't know what side of the building we walked in from, but we walked around the first floor, and then looked at all the graffiti and shit, and then we went to the basement again, and there was just like a bunch of like trash and like random furniture and like construction shit, like steel, like giant pieces of like steel, like to support like a building and shit, and like sheet metal. And we're just walking around there. We were in there for like maybe 25 minutes. Like it wasn't really that interesting, but like it was cool. But like at the end it's just like an abandoned building with fucking graffiti. So like we were in there for like half an hour, and then we walk outside, and then we're just walking around, and we're walking around in the fields and shit, and like we see this car on the road, and it's like some SUV. So you know like we're kind of like paranoid that it might be the police, because 10 people left, and they might have saw like all the cars and shit. So we like duck down when the car like turns, and the headlights just happen to be going out into the field. And then like after the car is gone, it's dark again. So we all sprint back, and I figured I figured we might as well before any cops show up. So we sprint back, and I wasn't expecting to go to Central State like at the beginning of the night. So like I was wearing like white shoes that I had for maybe 2 weeks, maybe, and I wasn't expecting to run through fucking wet grass and dirt, and I kind of fucked them up. But you know, we get to the car, and we're going back. I get dropped off, and I don't really remember walking in because I was probably like at the peak of like the pills and shit, like them hitting me, and it was like the first time I ever did shit like that. So I get home and I go to bed pretty fucking fast, and yeah, that was the time of me breaking and entering a abandoned insane asylum on drugs. And I wouldn't recommend anyone do anything in this video because, obviously fentanyl exists and you're likely to get arrested breaking into, private property or trespassing into an abandoned place. So, stay safe, and if you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe. I'm thinking about making this channel like commentary orientated, but I'm possibly going to do more story videos, but probably not as illegal. And the only reason I made this video was because I was really out of ideas. So if you have if you have any comments, feel free to leave a comment, and feel free to subscribe, and thanks for watching.